Finds Beckham. Beckham now to Owen, and here's another Owen run. He's going to worry them again. It's a great run by Michael Owen, and he might finish it off. Oh, it's a wonderful goal! What an amazing moment!
Right on to the end.
Hello, good evening. My name is Andrew and this is Chris. We are BCFC Fanzine TVI. We are doing the World Cup. Chris, how are you?
Very good, thank you. So the team has dropped a couple of changes. I'm not sure if they are surprising, but it's notable that there are two changes in the defence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. When I saw that, so the rumours have been for the last hour or so that Spence and Gehi will be starting this evening. Didn't surprise me. I thought that Spence would be for Reece James, if I'm being honest. So when I saw that Nico O'Reilly was out of the team, it did surprise me. But then I look at it and go, well, Semenyo is going to be on their right. And he's obviously gone for a bit more pace down the right, whereas Nico O'Reilly is a great player and he's very quick. I just think Semenyo would need to be marshalled by Spence, and that's probably why he's gone for it. For me, the biggest thing is Gordon. Gordon was dreadful in that first game. He wasn't good in the slightest. There's always.
I never noticed, to be honest.
No. Well, yeah. I just think for me, Jed Spence, he adds a bit more in there, but I think Rashford really, when he came on, was brilliant. I think Madueke stays in the team until Saka gets.
Well, the next thing I was going to say is that there's a couple of ways of looking at this. Now, I'm all for rotating a squad. Now, it's agreed that we've probably got the hardest game in the group out of the way.
Yeah,
so
that's a fair comment.
Yeah, so I'm with you on the Reece James one, but then we have to accept that Tuchel would marry Reece James if he could. So yeah, we have to accept that. It might be all about the bringing the right players into the team at the right time as well. So yes, I'm with you. Gordon, well, he wouldn't be anywhere near the squad, let alone the first 11, but he's in. And we do have better players than him to come off the bench, which is good. The same with Madueke, in my opinion. But there's enough there to win the game. I hope changing two at the back doesn't disrupt the flow. Now, I think I accidentally happened to watch some of Ghana's first game, and I will say that the pace of the game was furious, like from the off, like from minute one all the way. I can't remember who they played now because it was 6 days ago, and it was at 1 o'clock in the morning, but it was in Vancouver, so it was cooler. No,
well, Ghana played Panama.
That's right. Sorry, Panama. Yeah. So and it was a furious pace, and I thought to myself, okay, fair play and everything else, and I think I fell asleep at half time when it was 0-0, and I think they won 1-0, didn't they? They
did in the 95th minute. I'm going to be honest. Ghana are a bit of an anomaly in this group for me. I'm going to come to Ghana in a second because this comment has just made me laugh. You'll notice that I was laughing in the corner.
Well, I mean, I'm proud to say that we have a viewer in Malaysia who, of course, we know that's Dan Lipley. So,
is he in Malaysia?
He's in Malaysia at the moment. Yeah. So Dan, what time is it there? It's about about 4 a.m., isn't it, or something like 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to go. Hi, Dan. How are you, mate? Are you good? I just want to bring Ghana a bit of an anomaly because they didn't qualify for the African Cup of Nations, but qualified for the World Cup. And their big rivals are Nigeria, who did the polar opposite. They qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations and didn't qualify for the World Cup. They've got great players. They've got Semenyo, who, for me, is one of the signings of the season by Man City. Probably one of the best January signings, like period.
Since Christophe Dugarry, basically.
Yeah. Well, since Christophe Dugarry, yeah, obviously. I mean, but we also have Mark Guehi, who also is a January signing for Man City. I just think they are a bit of an anomaly. I just think we really need to get into them. I watched that Panama game. It was bad.
Did you think?
It was so bad. It was so boring.
Did you think Pape was playing? Is that why you watched it?
Right. Don't even bring Pape up to me, because that game wound me up, because it was like, for those who were watching, we do a thing called Pape Watch, and
No, not we. He does Pape Watch. I do not do Pape Watch.
I decided to take this mantra on. In the first game, he was 9 out of 10. He was class, and then all of a sudden, he was shit again.
Who did they play? Bournebrook under 9s? Because it seems like everyone else has qualified for this World Cup.
I did feel for him, but let's go back to the England game, because that's what we're here for.
We don't.
So, what do you think? Do you think we're going to get a result?
Yeah, no, I absolutely do, for the simple reason that the right players are in the team, which is a very, very a very good centre half, either Stones or Guehi. Mm-hmm. You know, your midfield is completely fine. Yes, we have width, but you've got the golden two, so you've always got a chance of winning any football game. And then when you've got your Rashfords and your Sakas to come off the bench, then I think it will be perfectly fine, to be honest. I mean, I've got no objections with the rotation, but I was half expecting Rice to be rested, actually. But then when I thought about it, I think, well, with qualification and possibly winning the group on the line tonight,
yeah,
that's where your priority comes in.
Resting for the Panama game.
Yeah, I mean, the place. I mean, even resting there. I mean, it's the perfect opportunity. If they go through tonight by winning, say 2-0 or 3-1, like relatively comfortably, and everything else, then really you should be looking at playing Rodgers and Saka and Rashford and Mainu and Eze. I mean, I wouldn't play Watkins ever, but that's just a.
Do you know what? I think this is a game though where the squad comes into it. We're treating this World Cup a little bit like a Lions tour. I don't know if you've noticed and sort of seen on social media and seen across all the media. England are playing games against local sides. So we played Miami FC, not Inter Miami, but Miami FC last week. And we were playing a team from Kansas City this week. And it means players like Tony, like Kwanzaa, like, I'm just going for the list of the people who are on the bench today. Like Watkins, like Tony, you know, they're getting game time away from the actual tournament. So they're coming into the game match fit, which I really, really like. I think that's a really, really good idea. That is my biggest fear coming into this tournament was because the games are so spread apart. You know, usually in a tournament, you play every 3 or 4 days. The first 2 games of this tournament are every 7 days. So you're going to get players who aren't getting minutes, like a Mainu, like an Eze, like a Dean Henderson or James Trafford, who are the goalkeepers. So say something happened to Jordan Pickford. We've got players that come in and they're match ready. They've played a match elsewhere. And I think we are really getting to a point now where this is the way that we're going to need to go in a 48-team World Cup. I think making sure the squad are match ready is really good. But I also think you take risks when you need to take risks. Rice clearly isn't fully fit. He clearly isn't fully fit, and it's been made very aware. But like you said, we need to get through and win this group today. We win this game in the group without a shadow.
This is your classic. I always call it the Arsene Wenger way, because if you remember Arsenal in their prime, they would go out and rip a team to pieces for 25 minutes and be 3-0 up, and then that was, well, not it, but the game was won. So then, and you could almost call that the English Premier League mentality. So maybe it's a case of Rice, we want to go out and we want to kill this game in the first half. Obviously, they've got to start a lot better than they did in the last game.
Yeah.
I mean, for all the good things that came out of a 4-2 win, we have to remember that the first half was dog shit. It really wasn't very good. I mean, I know I might be a bit harsher on them than most people were, but for me, it just wasn't very good at all, despite scoring two.
I think the second.
But we've been all over that anyhow. So maybe it's a case of going, right, if we are 2-0 to the good at half time, then it'll be Mainu, get yourself ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're on to see out the rest of the game and manage it and show that you can do that, because you never know, like you said, if Rice does get an injury or isn't fit for a bigger game later down the line, someone's going to have to step in there. Now, I would prefer it to be Mainu than Henderson, because let's face it, why is Jordan Henderson in this England squad anyway? If he's there for a personality, then that's the nonsense.
No, I think with Jordan Henderson, I think if we win this game today, he'll start against Panama.
I've got no problem with that, because you threw and everything. I mean, this is my one criticism. I mean, I've been banging on for years about World Cup groups, so how they should be around robin in a 3, because you never have a dead rubber game in a 3 team. Even if you go one group of 3, then another group of 3, and then. But anyway, I dislike the fact that you can have dead games in knockout tournaments when it's easily avoided if you have groups of 3. Now that's just maths. You know, you don't need to go do the ins and outs. The fact remains, if you have a group of 3, there's always something to play for in every single game. That's just a fact, right?
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say about the round robin of 3, because I play Football Manager, right? So before they knew what the structure of this tournament was, they did it in the 3. So they had whatever amount of groups, and then you were in a 3, and then the winner would go through, and the best second team places would end up going through. I think there's not a lot of jeopardy for some teams. There's jeopardy for other teams, obviously, if they do badly in their first game and then the other 2 teams in the group do well. You know, you look at the teams who have already qualified through this tournament: Mexico, USA, Argentina, France, Norway. They've had no real jeopardy. If you look at the way the fixtures have gone, if you look at the first round of fixtures, who had the hardest? Who are the 2 teams who have a realistic chance of winning? Who had the hardest start? You're going to say Brazil, because Morocco are excellent, and I would say will go far in this tournament. And then you're going to say England against Croatia. You know, Croatia, yes, for all their faults, and they're an aging team. I will say, I think Croatia are better than Brazil. And I honestly do. When you look at the midfield, right? Luka Modric is 40, right? He is better than Casemiro.
Yeah, so but I'm better than Casemiro. So
that's a bold statement, isn't it? Well, let's get the fans. Right, guys, if you are watching and you want to ask some questions or anything like that, please let us know.
Yeah, so sorry, 2 things. Obviously, there's been like records of tumble. Obviously, it was all about Messi yesterday.
Yeah.
With some incredible stats. With 18 World Cup goals now, and unbelievably, 12 of them have come in the last 2 World Cups, which is insane to think about. Ronaldo has scored today, which means he scored in 6 consecutive World Cups, which is just mind-bending to think that somebody's even played in 6 World Cups, let alone scored in each and every one of them. And thirdly, we're going to move on to our...
So we're going to look at our fantasy teams whilst Chris is trying to get them up on the screen here. If you do have any comments on this, because I'm going to be honest, I haven't really looked at my team since I picked it. I could barely tell you who was in my team.
Don't worry, I've got the screenshot to show you.
Of course you have.
So, needless to say that I'm Tree Lions. But this is indicative of all of our fantasy leagues, though, isn't it? Really, where you're sort of floundering down the bottom, apart from like maybe one season once upon a time. Even Dan Litt beat you this year. I mean, but he beat me as well, which is surprising because he didn't even know who we picked. Did you, Dan? But yeah. So this is our head-to-head, and as you can see, it's not really even a contest. And this is our public league, which surprisingly you're not even in. How can you not be in our own public league?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I put my team in and then I completely forgot to join this league. So I mean, you're not top of this one, though, are you? You're getting beaten by Spooky AI.
I'm not.
Spooky L.
Still got players to play and everything else. It's still early days. So the one thing about this fantasy league is it doesn't tell you, obviously you've got a team name, but it doesn't give you a name. So Spooky Al and Used to Be Good. I mean, that could be you, to be fair, but did you put 2 teams in? But yeah, if you make yourself known to us, then obviously we can. And these links, what I'll do is I'll put the links in the bio because I believe that you can still join into these leagues. I mean, maybe I'm wrong or anything else, but we're going to pull our teams up. So yeah, so this is your team.
So players to play. Nuno Mendes got me. See, this is the thing, right? So I picked Jeremy Doku, who fucked off from the World Cup to see the birth of his first child, which is fair enough. But that doesn't help my fantasy team, does it?
Well, I mean, it sounds a bit selfish, and you've got to say, why would you pick him if that was going to be the case? Not you, but I mean the manager. So, yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not think about this when you were getting somebody?
So Julian Alvarez, right? I thought Julian Alvarez would start every game. Right, I did. I genuinely did. I thought he could link up with Messi. He's out and out the best striker that Argentina have. I know there's a case for Martinez, but I just think Alvarez is better. And then you're looking, you're thinking, I've fucking left 9 points on the bench with Mazraoui. But I've still got players to play. I've still got Harry Kane. I reckon he's going to bang this evening. And John Stones, who's on the blooming bench. And then we've got Pickford. I think Guardiola will get me some points. But look, it's been a bit of a struggle. I need to make some transfers, to be honest. I'm going to probably spend a bit of time having a look.
So let's move on
Maybe
to
Messi in there.
The winning team, as it so. I'm so sorry. This is the team. So I took the wrong screenshot there. So sorry. This is after my transfer. So I've made my transfers for the next round already.
So have you brought Messi in?
Yes.
I don't think he plays against Jordan.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Right. We're going to talk about my top here because this is amazing.
If Messi doesn't start against Jordan, then you can have everything I own because this is a further opportunity for him to score 3 or 4 goals and just go to everyone else and you ain't catching him.
I agree, he turns 38 today.
39 actually.
And that means he's a year older than me, which makes me well happy. I mean, he might have achieved a lot more in his career, I'm not going to lie. But does he have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube?
Sorry, but was there an element of he might have achieved more in his career?
Might.
He might have done. Okay.
We're in different careers. I'd love to see him teach kids.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were comparing football careers. I didn't realise you were comparing.
Oh, no, mate. I think he might have a bit of a 1-0 win over me there.
But anyway, as you can see, my points tally is just, but it's just a bit of an embarrassment at the moment. I think you need to start paying attention. Otherwise, it could be, it could be over by the 4th of July.
Before we finish this podcast, let's go back to the main screen, and then let's give our predictions for tonight. So, US
start.
Before we do this, the USA would deport him if he doesn't play. He's the only player they know. Fact. I don't think half of the Americans know. If I said to an American, who is Austin Trusty, I don't think they would know. But you ask any Birmingham City fan or any like Celtic fan or anything like that who Austin Trusty is, they'll be like, great centre half. But Celtic fans might not do that.
I wouldn't say that either.
Oh,
so let's speak for the. You can speak for you. I'll speak for the Menno.
So
played for us
ahead of this game tonight. With that starting lineup, we've got the equivalent at top there of Bellingham and Kane, which is the equivalent of the great pairing like Melinda Messenger.
So
what's the score?
Ghana are going to start fast, which means we have no choice but to start fast, which is a good thing in my opinion. So start fast, kill the game, get yourself a couple of goals in front nice and early, and then manage it without going crazy, but then bring players in that will want to keep the tempo of the game up, which is Rashford, which is Mainu, which is Saka and Rodgers as well, because it's a natural thing to rotate those players around when games are won. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 because I don't think Ghana have got too many goals in them, and I don't think that if we do go a couple of goals up, I don't think we're going to go hard chasing more goals because we don't need to. But I also don't think we're going to sit back as well. So I don't
think that's Tuchel's style at the minute. I don't with this England team. I think he knows that we're more attacking than defensive. Although he's made defensive changes for this game, so obviously he's highlighted a few vulnerabilities that we had from that first game. I had a discussion this morning.
So I mean, my last word before you give your predictions is there's still the 3 weakest players in the squad on the pitch at the start of the game, in my opinion, which is James, Hunter, and Gordon. But I don't mind that if the rest of them can carry him over the line, as long as they actually pretend to know that they.
No, yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, to be honest, I had a discussion this morning with a taxi driver. So I was standing waiting to go into a course. He noticed my top, obviously the England top that I've got on wearing. He said, "Oh, what do you think? What do you think about tonight?" And the England fan in me, the optimist, is saying 4-0. The pessimist is going 0-0 because it just has this England vibe to it. When you watch England, you go, oh, fucking hell, not again. So we do have some more comments. So let's just go through this.
Hello, Keith.
Shows where the missing games all on go, never lose the beliefs. Hello, Keith. How are you?
If anyone is old, I've been talking about age and the irony of this. If anyone's old enough to cast their mind back to 1990, when a certain Roger Miller, who was a 43-year-old Cameroonian,
what a player!
Well, I think he scored 4 or 5 goals in that World Cup. It was unheard of to have a player that age. I mean, Diego Maradona tried to have a crack at it when he was 38 and played brilliantly until it turned out that he was gapped up on some kind of steroid or something and then got chucked out of it in whatever year that was. But I mean, now it just seems so normal to have players of not even goalkeepers now. I mean, to have outfield players that are still not only just there by their legendary reputation, so to speak, but on pure ability. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't say that, oh, you know, he's only there because he's Ronaldo when he scored 2. Oh, he's only there because he's Messi when he scored 5. It doesn't matter who it's against. Like, if you're scoring goals in World Cups, then, you know, like, I mean, if you ask Alan Shearer now, he'd be going, oh, God, I wish I'd never packed him when I was 30. You know,
I think he packed in a little bit because Shearer was part of that sort of over switch, wasn't he?
He was different, though, was it? He was different then. You know, he was different. Even Rooney in a lot of ways, and you know, there's so few players that played on to an age and still performed, but there's just more and more now, and that's testament to the physicality, the way these players look after each other, and not each other, but themselves to be a high level pro. It doesn't matter that Messi is playing in the USA. It doesn't matter that Ronaldo is playing in Saudi. When it comes down to it, you know, they are still doing what they do at the international level. Okay, it might be against who they played today, Uzbekistan, but the fact is Uzbekistan are qualified on merit. So it doesn't matter if it's weaker opposition in the group stages. That is what you're there to do. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask you a question here. So Harry Kane is 32 at the minute. Do you expect Harry Kane to be there at Spain, Portugal, and Morocco in 2030?
Yeah. In fact, actually, I think it was one of the channels, ITV or the BBC, did a piece on that very thing about him being at Bayern now and being in the shape of his life. Not so much because he's moved abroad, but it's just Bayern Munich's a different machine to many clubs in the world. I mean, they are.
They're the biggest German club. They're probably one of the top 5 clubs in the world.
He kind of went down the route of where winning the title isn't an option. It's a demand for Bayern Munich, and for him to go there and sort of push on like he has as well. I've got no doubt that and I mean, unless something horrific happens, I've got no doubt that he'll be in the next World Cup. 35? This is Lewandowski, Messi, Ronaldo. Well, there's no reason why Harry Kane can't be on 120 international goals at that point. Why not? For
me, I would still take him, even if he was a bench player at that point. You guaranteed a goal from him.
Well, yes and no, because okay, he might still be playing at 36, but look, if he hasn't scored in 6 months, then the answer's no.
Yeah. But at this point in time, I think we'd both take him, right?
Oh, if he's fit and doing what he does, then of course, you know, there's
so
no.
We've got a couple more. More comments.
Oh, yeah, Keith. Sorry, just going to
taxi drivers do know everything. Trevor Francis nearly thought he was going to hat trick against.
If I remember rightly, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Keith, he was player manager of Sheffield Wednesday at the time when he did that. I believe actually player manager.
That's an interesting topic, isn't it? You don't see a player manager much anymore, do you?
No,
I don't. I remember the whole notion of a player manager came from Brian Robson, and he wore like a suit jacket and a tie and stuff on top, and then underneath he was wearing shorts and.
No, but it was before that. Kenny Dalglish was the first real player manager.
But that's the first one that I remember. But that obviously you've got there.
Yeah, I stand corrected. It was QPR. You're right, Keith. Yes, I knew it was player manager. But yes, I remember 3-2, wasn't it? That one, and it was at Villa Park as well. If I think, or was it? Maybe I've got that wrong as well. But I do remember it. But obviously, clearly don't.
Apparently, it's the massive German sausages giving the energy to Harry Kane. I'm not sure we can put it down to Frankfurters. I don't think that's the way it goes.
Maybe he's inferring something else because you know what Dan's like. I mean, it's all that tropical heat that's sending.
That's what it is. That's what he's on the other side of the world. He's up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. as it is on there.
It was at Villa Park. So I know. Remember. So I got 2 out of 3 right. He was player manager, and it was at Villa Park. Yeah.
You know what, guys? Keith, do you want to come on and have a conversation while I'm here? Because I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
It'll be on YouTube somewhere, but I think we should have a conversation about certain things. I mean, me and Keith can have a chat about the Kumar days and Gary Pendry days and stuff like that. That's assuming
yeah. So that's obviously before my time. So you will need someone who's got a bit more. And Keith seems like a guy who know his stuff. Obviously, England game. We're going to be back at 11 o'clock for the match reaction. I think this has been a bit of fun, to be honest. Please forgive me. After the England game, it could go either way. At this point, that
is a tinchy bit before my time. Actually, Stan Collins days. Andrew's going. Yeah.
And yeah, so we're going to be back at 11 o'clock for match reaction. Please check out Pake Watch and our news channel.
And I don't know. Well, he's frozen. Anyone can hear me. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Andrew's frozen. It looked like I froze for a second then. Subscribers, we are ecstatic.
Bride on